power. I didn't think you'd have a problem getting the yard. I didn't think I'd have to recharge batteries like on my old one. The big battery, I've never had to worry about taking that out and charging it while doing the yard work. It's pretty big. I mean, it's hard to get a grasp on the size whenever you're seeing it on the internet, but I mean, this is like a small go-kart. It's pretty big. I was surprised. So the tires, I was telling him, they grab one. I don't have to worry about it like sliding off the end of the curve. And, anywhere where it's, it's not, this is pretty level, but in the backyard, it's pretty unlevel and they can go through all that. It doesn't bottom out, anything like that. God, it's pretty easy. Like a lot of them, you have to get something fancy to change the height. And with this, that's not going to break. Like if I have a button and it's an actuator or a transmission or anything where you have like something that's going to change it, yes, it's going to fall apart. But this is just a piece of metal that's either raising it or lowering it. That's never going to fall apart until the metal rusts out. And that's going to be the last of my problems. I can't it. Like I don't really like a lot of, for a thing that's super electronic, for something like that, I would prefer it to be manual. And that's a good feature. Keep it as simple as possible because you're going to change this every day. Like every time you're doing it, depending on where you're mowing, it's going to go up and down. If you have a remote, you have some kind of, like I said, some gears. You have plastic or metal gears. They're going to go and they're going to raise this up or down. And those are they're going to wear out. And then you won't have the height control whenever you're trying to do your mowing. Whereas like this is a piece of metal. It spins this, and that makes this go up or down. Perfect. That's not going to fall apart. It can't. There's just it's a solid mechanism. It's not actuated. Two. Yeah, I think one sometimes will be a little too close for some of the stuff that I got going on, and the two is good everywhere. And then if I like in the backyard, whenever I have some concrete that I'm taking out, I'll raise it up so that it doesn't get close to touching the concrete. But mostly two. Multiple times, at least 3 or 4 times before the battery. The first time I charged it is the only time I've charged it. And it was just probably last week I took it off. So I've used it 6-7 times. This with the first charge that it had. It's not a real fair comparison because that one's about this big. It's too small for this yard. This one's got a bigger blade, so it doesn't have to go back and forth. This battery is probably 6 times the size of the little batteries you plug into that. Yeah. So, and that's one unit, and all plastic shells and all that. It's solid. This one's a way better product for what I use it for. If I had a little yard, or maybe if I lived in an apartment, the patio, that's what that other one would be for. So the robot mower, no matter what I did, it would fall off the curb. And then whenever I finally set the wire in far enough that it wouldn't fall off the curb, I still had to get the little lawnmower and mow the grass because it was good 14, 16 inches that it wouldn't mow around the yard. So I didn't like that. I didn't like spending so much on something that I had to go behind and mow the yard after it. And I think it's kind of frustrating to watch the Roomba type lawnmowers because it's not like your carpet. You may see some dust, you may see some dirt, but out here you can see whenever the grass is tall and where the splotches of tall grass, and those could just miss it every time. And then you have to go back and clean it up after it.
Sure.
Yeah, I've had people ask me questions about it.
Really?
Frequent question is more just about how you can control it, like the remote control visit around stuff. That's about it. Like that's the most fascinating part. I think the rest of it, kind of, they understand that it's a electric lawnmower, has a battery, but I don't think anyone's seen, at least the people that I've talked to, they haven't seen it where you can control it. Well, for me, I don't know if the family really likes it, but I've got a small daughter and she's 7 and she could do this. So if I ever want to, or if she's looking for something to do for chores, she can control this. I could turn it down the speed and cut it down so I don't have to worry about her getting ran over or anything. But and the same, we got teenagers and they can do it. You know, used to send the kids out and they'd have to push the lawnmower around and it'd be all wore out. Now they can just actually walk behind it and get everything done. There's no low end age bracket. As soon as you're old enough to work a controller on a video game, you could try the lawnmower.